The power of the Waaaagh. Other Aurochs treat Bonesplitters with equal parts awe and uncertainty. Even by greenskin standards, they are unpredictable. But that is because of the power of Waaaagh that thrives in them. They are also considered lucky, and bosses are always happy to have them around when the fighting starts. Aurochs view the appearance of Bonesplitters as a fortuitous sign of Waaaagh. Bosses see the naked, tattooed-covered greenskins waving their arms about and barking at realm gates, and conclude that Waaaagh must have told Bonesplitter something about where the next big fight is. When a large Bonesplitter war clan arrives in the area, it attracts other greenskins eager to get involved in these potential fights, forming a huge camp as their bosses and shamans carefully watch the hide tents and bone tokens of the savage Aurochs, waiting for a sign of where to go next. Unbeknown to their allies, Bonesplitters have no grand plan, nor do they make any real effort to lead or even guide the Aurochs and other greenskins that show up to join the hunts. A Waaaagh prophet might see a cloud of dust that looks a bit like a boar and proclaim that it is the beginning of a great hunt. Or perhaps he will have a revealing conversation with his nose bone about where the next big monster is to be found. His boys trusting utterly what he says, Waaaagh told him to do. Countless wars have been started, empires destroyed, and continents toppled into the sea, all because a prophet witnessed one of these omens. There are some calendars in the realms that use the movements of the Bonesplitter war clans to mark the passing of time. In the Snagglemire swamps, deep in the unfettered continents of Gur, the new year is marked by the arrival of savage Auroch hunts, where the people of Waaagh's hollows in the Nightlands, while the people of the Waaagh's hollows in the Nightlands count their spring as when the Aurochs come to battle the great zombie dragons of their land. Some Ogre leaders claim that the hunts of the Bonesplitters are the will of Waaaagh at work, and that if you looked at their movements on a map, you'd see the god's face, grinning back. Violent green sorcery sparks and pops around the meaty fingers of the Waaaagh prophet. It is a savage power that comes from the thumping hearts, bulging muscles, and savage yells of every nearby Auroch, ready to be loosed upon the realms like a gigantic, bunched fist. Bonesplitters would be dangerous enough without the power of the Waaaagh thrumming through their veins. Like all Aurochs, they are extraordinarily resistant to harm, thinking nothing of wounds that would leave most mortal creatures writhing in agony. Even the odd broken bone, missing eye, or severed limb can be shrugged off if there is still fighting to be done. The result is an almost unstoppable avalanche of brawny green bodies and hefty weapons that crushes everything in its way. The crackling green magic that fills the Bonesplitters' brutal souls just makes them more dangerous. What little pain an Auroch boy feels is completely blotted out by the energies thundering around in his body, and even death can take a moment to sink into his brain as he hacks and hews his way through everything within reach. The power of the Waaaagh is more than just the thirst for violence that resides in all Aurochs, and can manifest itself in many strange and destructive ways. As the great hunts rampage across the realms, beasts and monsters go mad with the power of Waaaagh rolling off the Bonesplitters. Creatures of claw and hoof froth at the mouth, go wild-eyed and stagger about biting their kin or chewing on the landscape. Especially aggressive creatures like reeking fen-troggoths, drunken gargants, or tusk-faced grunters lay down waste to the lands, head-butting mountains, turning forests to splinters, and drinking rivers dry before vomiting them up again. The Bonesplitters believe these effects are caused by the invisible feet of Waaaagh stamping the ground to flush their prey out of hiding. In truth, it is caused by the Waaaagh power that the war clan brings with them. A vast amount of magical energy is held in the many spirit-holding beast bones carried by a war clan, made great by its proximity to masses of oryx and blessed individuals like the Waaaagh prophets. However, the yellowed and cracked vessels have only power when in the meaty grip of one of the green-skinned gods' chosen Bonesplitters. To other oryx, these crude talismans, beast bits and primitive weapons are nothing more than as they see.